So, children, we were discussing about the latent heat of fusion of ice. Latent heat of fusion of a substance, it is defined as the amount of heat which is required to change a substance to change 1 kg of substance from its solid state to liquid state at its melting point and normal atmospheric pressure. Latent heat of fusion of a substance we define as amount of heat required to change 1 kg of substance from its solid state to liquid state at its melting point and normal atmospheric pressure. Now, if we take latent heat, take the example of latent heat of ice. It is equal to 3.347 joules into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. It means that if you want to melt 1 kg, if you take 1 kg of ice and if you want to melt it, then you will require for 1 kg of melting of the ice, you will require 3.347 into 10 raised to 5 joules of heat energy. And what are the conditions here? That it should be at its melting point and the pressure should be normal. Pressure should be normal means we have to take it on the ground level, not on the mountain, because on the mountain what happens, the pressure is less. So, this amount of heat it will differ. So, the conditions are that it should be at its melting point. Of course, it will be at its melting point, because when you will start heating ice, first it will come to, the temperature will come to its melting point and then it will start melting. It does not happen that as soon as we start heating, it will start melting. So, these are the two conditions. So, this is about the latent heat of fusion of a substance. Now, next thing which we have to study is change of state from liquid to solid. Change of state from liquid to solid. Say here liquid we take water and solid we take ice. It means that we want to change water into ice, liquid into solid. So, what I will have to do here? I will have to cool it. If I cool water, if I bring the temperature down of water, then what will happen? It will start solidifying, it will start changing into ice. Why do it changes into solid, or why do it changes into ice? Because when I start cooling it, the kinetic energy of the particles or molecules, it decreases. When I start cooling it, then the kinetic energy decreases, and because of this decrease in the kinetic energy, what happens? The particles which are present here in liquid state a little far away, they will come closer due to the decrease in the kinetic energy, and when they will come closer, then it will change it into ice, or you can say solid. And this is called the temperature at which a substance starts freezing, that is changing from liquid to solid state, that is called as freezing point. Freezing point is the temperature at which a substance starts changing from its liquid state to the solid state at what are the condition here? Normal atmospheric pressure. Normal atmospheric pressure means pressure at the ground level, not on the mountain or down. On the mountain pressure is less. So, here the condition is this, that freezing point is that temperature at which a substance starts changing from liquid state to the solid state, and the condition should be normal atmospheric pressure. Now, impurities, if I add some impurity, then what will be the change in the freezing point of a substance? If I am trying with this water, and water is pure, and I am trying to change it into ice, there is a fixed temperature at which it will start freezing, that is called as freezing point. If I add some impurities to this water, then what will happen? The impurities lowers the freezing point. By adding some impurities in water, the freezing point of water or liquid, it will lower down, it will come down. So, this is about the change of state from liquid to solid, that is from water to ice. This can be done by cooling. By cooling, what we are doing is, we are decreasing the kinetic energy of the particles. By decreasing the kinetic energy, the particles, they come closer and they change from their liquid state to solid state. Now, next is change of state from liquid to gas. How can we change the state from liquid to gas? Say liquid is water here. and I want to change it into gas. Gas is what? Water vapor. This is liquid state, this is gaseous state. This is water vapor. How can I do it? I can do it by heating. Heating means I am supplying heat energy to this liquid. Then what will happen? It will change it into gas. Now the same experiment you have to do here. Instead of ice, what we have to do here is you have to take water. Take a beaker, in that beaker you take some water and take a glass rod. Again you have to take a thermometer here to note down the temperature. This is of course a laboratory thermometer. Which is bigger than the normal thermometer which we use at our home. And here you will have to heat it. Heat it means you have to take a burner this is the burner. What you have done is you have taken a beaker, in that beaker you have taken some water. This water you are continuously stirring with a glass rod and you are noting down the temperature of this water and you are heating this water by a burner. What will happen? This heat which you are supplying to the water, it will be taken by water, water will get heated up, there will be rise in the temperature of the thermometer. Say here it is, the marking is 100 degree, right. So, you will see that first the water will get heated up and there will be rise in the temperature. And after some time you will see that the water it starts changing into vapors. Water vapor. Now you note down the temperature. Temperature of this will be 100 degree Celsius. Why it will be 100 degree Celsius? Because boiling point means the temperature at which a substance starts boiling. Boiling point is the temperature at which a substance starts melting. Again the condition is normal atmospheric pressure on the ground level, not on the height or mountain. On mountain, this boiling point will be different, but here again the condition is that the boiling point of a substance is the temperature at which a substance starts boiling at normal atmospheric pressure. So, it will start vaporizing. Now, you will see that the whole of the water after some time it is continuously vaporizing, it is changing into water vapor and there will be no change in the temperature of the thermometer till all the water it has changed into vapor. There will be no change in the temperature. Why? Why there will be no change in the temperature? Again the same thing what we have done, what we have seen in case of latent heat of fusion of ice. Here latent heat of vaporization, there it was fusion because here vapors are being formed. So, here it is latent heat of vaporization. here because vapors are being formed, so it will be latent heat. What is the meaning of latent heat? I told you it is the hidden heat. Hidden heat means it will not come in the thermometer, this reading will not come in the thermometer. Why it will not come? Because the heat which we are supplying, that is being used up by the particles of water in overcoming the distances in between the particles. Now you see the particles in case of liquid, suppose they are this much at this much distance, and this liquid now it is changing into what? It is changing into vapor. Now in vapor means it is changing into gas. So the molecules or the particles, they will move so much apart, and in overcoming this forces of attraction, the energy which we are supplying here, that is being used in overcoming this forces of attraction. So this is the hidden energy or hidden heat energy which is used for changing the liquid into the gas, and it is not noticed in the thermometer, and therefore it is called a latent heat of vaporization. And in case of water, the latent heat of vaporization of water, it is equal to 22.59 into 10 raised to 5 joule per kg. What do you mean by this? Latent heat of vaporization of water, it is equal to 22.59 into 10 raised to 5 joule per kg means, if you take 1 kg of water and you want to change it into water vapor, then the amount of heat energy which you will require is equal to 22.59 into 10 raised to 5 joules. Clear to you? And what are the conditions here? That the water should be at its boiling point and it should be normal atmospheric pressure. Conditions will remain the same, that is water should be at boiling point. Of course, it will be at boiling point, because when you will start heating, first water will get heated up, it will start boiling, and after boiling it will start changing into vapor. So one condition is fulfilled. Next is normal atmospheric pressure. Normal atmospheric pressure means, again you will have to do this experiment, you will have to see it where? On the ground level, not at the height. Now this is about the latent heat. Now it is our common experience that when we go on height, that is on mountain, cooking is very difficult. Why cooking is very difficult? The food which we try to cook on the heights or on the mountain, it does not get cooked up. Why? The reason being this, that when we go on the height, then there the atmospheric pressure is less. Why atmospheric pressure is less on height? Because air is less. Air is less means, and what is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is due to the air. So air is less, atmospheric pressure is less, and if atmospheric pressure is less, then what will happen? The boiling point will come down. And if boiling point will come down, then what will happen? We are on height, we are cooking, we are trying to cook the food on height, we are supplying heat energy, but this food, because of the low boiling point, why low boiling point? Because atmospheric pressure is less, so boiling point is less. So boiling point is less means it will start boiling at low temperature. It means that we are supplying heat, but it is not taking heat, it is taking that much amount of heat only which is required for its boiling. and what for cooking, how much energy, heat energy we require more, and that is the reason that the food does not get cooked up on mountain. Then what about the pressure cooker which we are using in our day to day life? In pressure cooker, what happens, as the name only suggests, pressure cooker, we are cooking by increasing the pressure. You see that whistle on that weight on the pressure cooker, it starts whistling. When the pressure inside becomes more, then what happens, that whistle comes up and it starts whistling, that weight comes up and it starts whistling. So, in pressure cooker the food gets cooked up fast with less amount of heat. Normally if we cook it without pressure cooker, then you will have to supply more amount of energy, and then also it will take more of time also for cooking. But in pressure cooker, because of the increase of the pressure, what is happening, the boiling point it is increased, and because of that more amount of heat is being absorbed by the food and the food gets cooked up faster. So, these are the practical application of the application of the pressure and change of temperature on cooking, or you can say day to day life.